Around 10 minutes had passed since Vorden had last heard Quinn say anything, but he preferred this over the screaming Quinn. Before, he felt like at any second a rampage might start up from him, but right now he was relaxed and no longer had his hand held up holding the door. He leaned up against the door with his back propped up against it. "Hey, what are we still doing here?" Rayton asked. "Any second now that guy could be eating us. I don't understand." "But he isn't, is he?" Vorden replied. "Do you think he could have eaten us just now, to be honest? I don't even think me holding up the door with my ability would have been enough to stop him." He then lifted his hand across his chest. The wound had dried up and was starting to scab over. Then movement from the other side of the door was heard as Quinn started to lift himself up from the ground. "Vorden, are you still there?" Quinn asked. "Yeah, I'm here. You all right now?" "Yeah, I'm okay. You probably want to know what just happened, don't you?" "Well, I'd be lying if I said no." Quinn then took a deep breath as he prepared to tell Vorden the whole tale. It was hard for him. Unlike Layla, who had been so accepting of it, not everyone was like her, and he was afraid of Vorden's reaction. He slowly started at the beginning about how he had obtained a book, and after using it felt different all of a sudden. Quinn then went on to explain the events at school, and even things that happened with Layla, all up to the point where he had arrived in the portal world, eventually turning into the bloodsucker. There were some details he decided to leave out, though. There was no reason for him to reveal that his ability was like a system, but only that he grew more powerful with blood. He also left out everything to do with the system, including the mysterious blonde-headed man. This mystery was his own problem to deal with, and he only needed to tell Vorden what he needed to. There was silence between the two for a few moments as Quinn finished the story. Vorden was, of course, shocked by the whole thing. Vampires, he didn't even know there were such things, and if Quinn had told him this before, he would have thought he had gone mad. But Vorden had seen it. He had seen what Quinn had turned into, and Ian's dead body in the room was proof of that. "You know, I knew you were different from the moment I met you," said Vorden. "What do you mean?" Quinn asked. "Do you know how abilities work? Every person has a number of mutant cells inside their body that they can activate. The more cells a person can activate, the stronger their ability level. My ability allows me to replicate these cells from one person into my own body. That's why if someone is only a level 1 Earth user, I can only copy the same number of mutant cells from them. But when I shook your hand, I felt the different cells in your body, Quinn. Just for whatever reason, I couldn't replicate them. It tried and tried, forming and breaking down, but every time they would end up in failure. It was the first time something like that had ever happened." "Are you scared of me, Vorden?" "Scared, Quinn? Everyone has their own secrets that they don't want others to know, some more so than others. It's understandable why you hid it. The government, military, and the big families would all be trying to get their hands on you, trying to use your power for themselves." Vorden then turned around and moved the metal door out and into the corridor. The metal door was placed to the side, and when he lifted his face, his mouth remained wide open. To his surprise, Quinn looked almost like a completely different person. He had a whole new energy surrounding him. Quinn had grown a few inches in height. His skin looked super smooth and had gone slightly pale, while his face looked a little more masculine. "Now, this might be a tough one to explain," Vorden said. Before leaving the room, Vorden went to check on Ian's body. He continued to search and search, but could find no sign of the advanced tier crystal. Was he lying about it? But what he did see was 2 bite marks on the neck of Ian. Right now, Quinn looked completely normal, but looking at the bite marks on Ian's neck, it reassured him that everything Quinn said was the truth. The two of them went looking around until they had come across a toilet. Inside was a mirror for Quinn to look at himself. The changes weren't so drastic that you couldn't tell it was Quinn, but it looked like he had just gone on a 12-week model training course. They continued to walk around and ended back in the arena where the two of them fought. The two looked at the mess they had caused, Quinn thinking about when he was a bloodsucker, and Vorden thinking about the little one. There were scraps of metal all over the place, multiple broken chairs, and across the floor, blood. For now, Quinn was full from his last meal, and he also had to fill up his blood bank. Based on Ian's information, the portal was most likely to be in this building, a secret switch of some sort, hidden somewhere, but the two of them had no clue where that would be. After searching around for a while and no success, the two of them sat down on the arena floor. Quinn asked why Vorden was even here in the first place, and gave the simple reply of, "I came after you." Although they didn't stay on the subject for long, as it seemed, Vorden kept steering away from the conversation. Quinn assumed it was something to do with Peter, and right now that was the last person the two of them wanted to speak about. That's when Vorden's stomach started to growl. It had been a while since he had eaten the last food pill. "Are you hungry?" Quinn asked. "Aren't you?" For a second there was another awkward silence between the two. "If you want, I can give you some of my blood," Vorden said. "You know, I do eat normal food as well." The two of them started to laugh and joke about a few things as time passed by. "It's a shame you can't use your abilities in school. If it was a normal ability, my family could offer you protection. The military wouldn't try hurting you." Although Quinn could try to pass off the vampire abilities as something normal, there was the problem that there was no skill like it. They would immediately assume he was an original, and there was now something that worried him even more. On the video the system had shown, the blond man stated others would now be looking for him. Were others referring to other vampires? If so, he needed to keep this a secret even more so than before. From the sound of the video, they didn't sound like they would be welcoming to him. Then something clicked in his head. There was something he could learn that wasn't part of his vampire skills. The level 6 ability book, the Shadow Book. While Vorden continued to search the arena for some type of secret exit, Quinn was pretending to look for one as well while walking around. Instead, he wanted to inspect the ability book he had received earlier from the metal container. As soon as he thought about his inventory, a screen appeared in front of him. Then, when just thinking about the item, the system would come up with a message. "Would you like to take out the level 6 Shadow ability book?" This time, rather than a monotone robotic voice the system usually played in his head, it was the annoying, energetic blonde man's voice. "Inspect. Level 6 Shadow Book can only be learnt by those that have been blooded." As Quinn used his inspect skill, a weird word had been added at the end. Blooded? Was that another name for vampires, perhaps? When Quinn tried the other ability books, he wasn't able to learn any of them. It started to make Quinn ask more questions about the book. Why did the military keep such a high-level book locked away? Was it because everyone had died, or were they planning to sell it off for the future? Either way, he had never heard of someone possessing a shadow ability before. Just then, the annoying voice was heard again. "So it looks like you want to learn more about the book, huh? Well, I can tell if you want. Do you want to know?" The AI system seemed to be just as annoying as the man himself. "Please," Quinn said while gritting his teeth. "Your guess is correct. Blooded refers to those that have been blessed or cursed, whichever way you want to look at it, with vampire blood. It doesn't matter if they're a halfling, a vampire lord, or even a ghoul. As long as they possess some of the vampire's blood, they are able to learn these abilities." "Do you know why the book was here?" "I have no clue." The AI system had surprisingly answered in great detail. It was like the blond man said. While the inspect skill was able to tell him information about items, his system would clarify things to him related to the system.
Subscribe to the Pocket FM Blockbuster YouTube channel and press the bell icon for instant notifications. Check out our channel for more exciting shows.